we've got some huge breaking news, and we're joined now by football correspondent Alex Crook with it. All right, Al.
Crookie.
Evening, boys. It's not just you guys who are putting your plans on hold. I am as well. I'm out in Berlin at the moment, soaking up the atmosphere. But massive breaking news, you say. In the last few minutes, I've had confirmation from sources at Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag stays as manager. We know there's been a lot of speculation about his future. We know there's been conversations with potential replacements in the form of Thomas Tuchel and Mauricio Pochettino. But United committed to moving forward into the new season and beyond with Erik Ten Hag, because it's my understanding the negotiations over a potential new contract, his current deal is due to expire at the end of the season, are underway. So that FA Cup victory against Manchester City seems to have swung the decision in Ten Hag's favour, and he will stay at Old Trafford next season.
Yeah, Al, I mean, look, this is massive news for Man United. I want to hear from Man United fans. Get involved straight away and give us a call. 03717 223344. But it feels like that they didn't have an option, really, to sack him after that win against Manchester City. But he's going to be under serious pressure already, isn't he?
Well, I think it's a seismic decision. Jamie, you look at Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and he was determined to conduct a thorough review into what's happened over not just last season, but the one before as well, Ten Hag's 2-year tenure. The message coming out of Old Trafford was always that the FA Cup final would not prove decisive one way or another, so they looked at the whole picture. United finished 8th in the Premier League, their lowest ever finish since the competition began back in 1992. The Champions League campaign was an unmitigated disaster. They finished bottom of a group that included Copenhagen. But I do think that FA Cup final performance, they had Lisandro Martinez fit. He only played 12 games over the course of the season. They got him back in the team at the right time. They looked much more solid defensively. Marcus Rashford turned up at Wembley and produced the type of performance we know he's capable of. You look at the development of Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho in particular, and Rasmus Højlund, another young player who got 16 goals last season in a team that didn't really create too many opportunities for their number 9. And I think United have decided, actually, there are signs there that maybe, if he can keep his best players fit, Ten Hag is the man to take us forward. And I think furthermore, you look at the potential replacements. I've mentioned Thomas Tuchel. He comes with a fair amount of baggage attached. Pochettino, is he ready to step straight back in, having left Chelsea? And then there's talk of Thomas Frank and Graham Potter and Gareth Southgate. I would argue that most Manchester United fans, if you're giving them a choice between Frank, Southgate, Potter and Ten Hag, they're going to say stick with what we got.
Crookie, it does seem to be, I don't think it's been handled particularly well, but we're well over 2 weeks since the FA Cup final. It just doesn't seem to have been handled inside Old Trafford particularly well. What decision making takes that long?
I agree. I guess if you're making the case for Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, they'll say this is not a decision they wanted to rush. They wanted to take their due diligence and make sure they came to the right outcome. I think if you were of the counter opinion, you'd say it was bordering on disrespectful to Ten Hag that we know at least 2 managers have been spoken to when the current boss is still in situ. But I wonder where this goes now. I spoke to Jim and Simon this morning from outside the Olympic Stadium here in Berlin, and I suggested that maybe Ten Hag's position in the dressing room had been weakened by the fact they've spoken to alternative candidates. Maybe players coming back after pre-season and after these Euros might think, well, you're not going to be here for very long. They've already started looking for a successor. But if he does sign a new contract, maybe it goes the other way. Maybe Ten Hag is emboldened now by the fact that Manchester United hierarchy put their faith in him, and maybe that makes him even stronger in the dressing room. I'm fascinated to see how this turns out.
Yeah, absolutely. Crookie, while you're here, obviously you've got you just landed out in Germany. How's it looking? The fans started to pile in?
They are indeed, yeah. We're in a beer keller in Berlin at this moment in time. There's a lot of Germany supporters in good spirits, not that confident about their nation's chances, it has to be said. I have seen a smattering of England fans around the capital, but of course they're not playing any games anywhere near here, certainly in the group stage. So I'd imagine in Dusseldorf and Frankfurt and the like, and Cologne, it's a lot busier with England fans. The Scots have descended in their part of Germany as well. So I think it's all shaping up to be a fantastic tournament.
Yeah. Crookie, enjoy it, mate.
Crookie.
Top man. I'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Alex Crook there. Let's go to a Man United fan straight away. Colin. All right, Cole?
Colin?
Colin in the shed here, guys. Good evening.
There he is, Colin
How
in
are
the
you,
shed.
mate? Now, listen, I know you're in a shed, and I know you're phoning up to talk about the takeaway 11, but we've had to put that aside for a minute because this is big news, and you're a Man United fan. How do you feel about Erik Ten Hag staying?
I didn't want him to stay, but the alternative, I mean, Southgate, you're having a laugh, aren't you? And I just couldn't cope with it. I'd have to go and watch Stockport still. I couldn't be cope with Southgate. But Ten Hag, I think he's starting to get a young team together. And if we make the right signings, then and keep players fit, I mean, that's been the main thing, of course. 30 different combinations of back four. You can't build a team like that. It's impossible. So get some young players in. Keep the young ones we've got. A bit sad to see Forson go. But, if he don't want to play for us, ta-da! The club is bigger than the players.
Yeah, do you think he's going to be under pressure, though, straight away? Because I think, look, I know he's won against Man City and it was a massive win, but I think if it wasn't for that win, he was out the door.
You're absolutely right, Jamie. And I think a quarter of a season may see him, if he doesn't set off well and he's in the mix, I think that maybe they'll reverse that decision. Radcliffe's not what sort of person who will cope with that. And United fans won't. We've just hankered success. We're used to success since 1992 with Sir Alex, and we've had some right numbnuts, haven't we, as managers in the last 11 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, interesting. What happens with the contract now? How quick that gets discussed and signed?
I think they'll definitely give him a contract, even if it's a 12-month extension. They'll definitely give him a contract. They won't go mad and give him a 3-year extra contract in case they want to get rid of him after quarter of the season.
Yeah.
The prudent thing would be to extend his contract.
So he's got a year left, right? He's got a year left, Colin.
Yeah, he's got a year left, and then extend it 1 year. Show confidence.
I don't know whether that don't show a lot of confidence. A year.
Well, I think the confidence was the fact that they really didn't have to. You always do a review. Everybody knows that. Every club does it. It does a review and says, right, what we're going to do going forward. They've spoken to some other candidates. I mean, Tuchel. Oh dear, I don't know. But Poch never won anything except a PSG that they actually gave him that. I mean, if you don't win PSG and you don't win Bayern Munich, then where are you going to win except Celtic? I mean, those are given. And I just think that they thought, well, hang on a minute, he's developed these young players. I mean, a lot of people say we haven't. Well, United for since 1935 have always had an academy player in the first team.
Yeah.
Always. I mean, that's the way to look at it. And we've got academy players now really playing well. And I really do think, we're back to sort of, if we can stay injury-free in the back four, the back four is key, absolutely key. We've got to get a midfield player and probably somebody to help Hoyland up front. Other than that, we're pretty good.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.